Okay, now on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which is running on One UI 7 Beta 2, I have turned on the refresh rate indicator right here on the top left corner. Now let me open Samsung messaging application, and you see this app is running at 120 Hz display. It is indicated here. Whenever I scroll or open the messages or anything that I do on this app, it will run at 120 Hz display. Now I'll open the messaging application again. And you can see it is showing 60 Hz now. Instead of 120 Hz, this application is running at 60 Hz, which is pretty cool, isn't it? Now, likewise, let's say if you want to run a few more frequently used applications on your phone at 60 Hz display, you can do that. For example, I have got Samsung Internet here. Let's say this is something which I frequently use. And if I want to save some battery while using it, I can change the refresh rate to 60 Hz for this specific application. As you can see, it is showing 60 Hz here. Then let's say if I use a Google News application frequently, then I can change the refresh rate of Google News app to 60 Hz. As you can see, immediately it switches to 60 Hz here. So this is something which we can do now on the Samsung Galaxy phones. And by doing this, we can save a lot of battery. We can conserve a lot of battery on the Galaxy phones by setting reduced refresh rate for specific applications which we frequently use on the device. Because the higher refresh rate on the display consumes more amount of battery, resulting in less screen on time. Now here the question is, how do we set 60 Hz refresh rate for individual applications? For this, we need an application called Display Assistant. Remember, I discussed about this yesterday, a brand new Samsung application which was released for the Galaxy phones, and that is made specifically to tweak the display settings, which will in turn conserve a lot of battery on your device. Let me quickly show you the application here. This is the brand new app called Display Assistant. When I tap on that, we have got a few options here. Let me first turn off the refresh rate indicator here. For that, I need to go to the settings, go to the developer option. This is where you will get to select the refresh rate indicator. Let's search for refresh rate, show refresh rate. I will just disable show refresh rate here. Now it has disappeared. Now let me open Display Assistant application. You see this fourth option here, standard refresh rate applications. This is where we select the applications to run them at 60 Hz. I've selected Google News, messaging application, and Samsung Internet. We can set any applications here. It says extend battery life by applying standard refresh rate for each application. When I tap on this, you see it says choose which app you want to use in standard refresh rate. Standard refresh rate is nothing but 60 Hz. I wish we had the options to customize the refresh rate here, like we got the option in the game booster setting where we can customize the refresh rate. Now here you can see you can tap on the plus button here and we can select whichever application we want to run them at 60 Hz. I wish there was a search option here. I hope Samsung adds a search button because it's very difficult to search a specific app here. I have to go through the entire list to select an application to run it at 60 Hz. Once it is done, let's say for example, I want to run LinkedIn at 60 Hz. I will tap on add and we have got 4 options here, and these are also categorized. You can see under business, we have got LinkedIn, communication, messages, and Samsung Internet, news and magazine, Google News. Now, these are all categorized here. Let me go back and you see we have got all these icons sitting right here under standard refresh rate application. This is a very crucial feature for Samsung Galaxy phones, which is now available, but there is a catch to it. I will come to that in a bit. First, let me show you the rest of the features that we have on Display Assistant. Let's say if you set the screen timeout to 15 seconds, no matter what you do on the phone screen will turn off immediately it hits 15 seconds. Now there could be some situations you don't want the screen to go off. If you want the screen to stay on, you'll have to go to the display settings and make the changes to keep the screen on. Now instead of doing that, we've got a brilliant feature here on Display Assistant option called Keep Screen On. Let me tap on this. It says the screen will stay on for 30 minutes. There are some conditions to this. If you have pressed the power key to turn off LCD, then it will not stay on. If your device has rebooted, it will not stay on. If the battery is below 15%, it will not stay on. Now let me show you how does this work. Now there will be a button option here to add the quick settings button. This is disabled here because I have already added the quick settings button. Now the moment you add the quick setting button on the settings, what happens is you can go to the quick panel here. You see this is the keep screen on toggle. Now let's say if I set the screen off time to 15 seconds, the screen will go off after 15 seconds. And whenever I want the screen to be on beyond 15 seconds, then all I need to do is just go to the quick panel and tap on keep screen on toggle. And now the phone screen will not turn off after 15 seconds, it will be on for 30 minutes. Now, depending on the situation, you can use this amazing feature. That is the third feature that we have got. Then we have got brightness limit profile. Let me tap on this. This is interesting. You've got standard brightness, light brightness. Now, if you've selected light brightness, the brightness can be kept up at high temperatures, but the device cools down slowly. For example, if you're playing games and if you want the brightness to be up at higher brightness levels, then you can do that by selecting light brightness. Even if the phone is running on high temperatures during long hours of gaming, the screen brightness will not go down. It will be bright, it will be kept at high levels, but the device will cool down slowly. But in the first scenario with standard, brightness is limited at high temperatures, and that is to maintain the temperatures of the device, and the battery will also be conserved there. The phone will reduce the brightness levels to keep the temperature at check. So that is what this setting can do. So depending on your requirement, you can select that. Then we have got something called adaptive brightness options. You can see we have got 3 points here, 1x, 2x and 4x. Brightness change speed. The speed of brightness change depends on the surrounding environment. Now what happens here is the brightness will shift quickly if you have selected 4x. Whenever you go from dark environment to brighter environment, the screen brightness will instantly shoot up at 4x, and if you want normal speed 2x, and if you want it to be slowly shifting, then you can set it to 1x here. So that is another option we have got under adaptive brightness options. Then we discussed about standard refresh rate applications, and then we have got something called screen curtain. This will extend battery life by applying screen curtain mode when operations is maintained for a long time without viewing the screen. Let me tap on this. Now here what happens is, let's say if you want to run an application and if you want that application to be running in the background without the display being turned on, then you can enable the screen curtain mode. And again, to enable this, you need to add the quick settings button. Let me show you where exactly is that button here. This is the screen curtain button here. When I enable this, the application will run in the background. Whatever app I have opened up, that will run in the background without getting affected. And when I double tap on the screen, it will wake up. But for some reason, this feature is not working. When I enable this, the phone is getting turned on. So probably that bug has to be fixed on the device. You see, it is restarting when I turn on the screen curtain mode. So that is a problem. And the reason that is happening is I'm using an APK of this application because this application is not available in all the countries or all the regions. I have installed the APK of Display Assistant, and I will leave a link for that in the description. If you're interested, you can go ahead and install the APK. Now, Display Assistant is an application which is supposed to be under good guardians, and this is developed by Galaxy Labs and currently available in some countries. I saw some of you guys commenting in my previous video where you were able to get it on the Galaxy Store. Check it on the Galaxy Store. If it is not available, you can go ahead and install the APK. Let me first check this on the Galaxy Store here, Display Assistant. Now in my region, I do not have this application. But yeah, in some of the countries it is already available, and if it is not available, you can check the link in the description. From APK Mirror, you will be able to install Display Assistant application. And this may be still in beta, it may not function as intended, so be wary of that. And one more thing to note here is this is made for One UI 7, so you may or may not be able to use this application on the devices running on One UI 6.1 or any One UI versions below One UI 7. So again, that is the point to note here. But this app is actually pretty good. We can save a lot of battery using this application. Setting 60 Hz refresh rate for specific application is actually a blessing in disguise. It's an amazing feature, which I think Samsung should add it on a good lock or on the settings itself, which will be amazing. Let me know what are your thoughts, drop a comment. That's all I want to share with you guys. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to download the wallpaper from the description. I leave a link for a wallpaper in each video, so you can go ahead, download it. Check out all my previous videos as well. You will be able to download some beautiful looking wallpaper. That's about it. Thanks for watching. You guys take care and stay safe. Cheers. Bye-bye.